2 inches. That's literally all it took for my HOA to try and steal my $400,000 house. 2 inches of grass. I'm holding the actual ruler they used right now. Stick with me for the next few minutes because I'm about to show you the letters, the photos, the foreclosure notice, and the single most insane revenge this neighborhood has ever seen. My name is Alex. 6 months ago, my family finally closed on our dream home. 4 bedrooms, huge backyard, quiet cul-de-sac, everything we worked 9 years to get. We moved in June 2023, unpacked the last box, and I remember thinking, we made it. Little did I know the nightmare was just starting. It began with a knock on the door. Some guy in a neon vest holding a literal metal ruler. He's kneeling in my front yard measuring individual blades of grass like he's doing CSI work. He circles one blade, takes a photo, stands up and says, "Sir, you're 2 inches over the maximum allowed height." I laughed. I actually laughed in his face. I thought it was a prank. He didn't laugh back. 2 days later, this shows up in my mailbox. $50 fine for grass height violation. $50. I rolled my eyes, paid it online, mowed the lawn, and forgot about it. But here's where it gets evil. 3 weeks later, I get another letter. Another $150 because apparently one corner of the backyard was still 4 inches. Then another $200, then $500. I'm showing every single letter on screen right now with the dates. Watch the total at the bottom climb. $1,000, $2,000, $3,800, $5,847 in 58 days, all because my grass dared to grow. Then the president of the HOA, this woman named Linda, starts leaving voicemails. Let me play you one. "Mr. Thompson, this is Linda from the association. Your account is now delinquent, and we have no choice but to proceed with lien and foreclosure proceedings." Foreclosure over grass. My wife heard that message and broke down crying in the kitchen. We were 9 days away from a public auction of our home. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I sat at my computer until 4 in the morning digging through every HOA document I could find. And that's when I discovered something that made my jaw hit the floor. One single 47-page financial report that proved the HOA was secretly $487,000 in debt and months away from bankruptcy. Stay with me because what I did with that information didn't just save my house, it turned me into the majority owner of the entire HOA. Part 2 is going to show exactly how I bought it piece by piece without them even noticing. And Part 3 is the board meeting where I fired Linda in front of 47 neighbors while they cheered. Hit the like button right now if you're ready for that payback. Turn on notifications because Part 2 drops in 48 hours and you do not want to miss what happens next. Let's keep going. If you're just joining us, 9 days ago, my HOA was about to auction off my $400,000 house because my grass was 2 inches too tall. Then I found a document proving they were almost $500,000 in debt and desperate for cash. What I did next took 91 days and turned me from the victim into the guy who owns 61% of the entire HOA. Keep watching because this is the part where everything flips. That financial report I found, it was a disaster. They blew $200,000 trying to renovate a pool that never got finished. They owed the landscaping company $68,000. They had 3 active lawsuits from other homeowners. The HOA was bleeding money and using insane fines like mine to stay alive. But here's where it changed everything. Because they were incorporated as a non-profit corporation under state law, every single homeowner actually owned a voting share, and those shares could be bought, sold, or transferred. So I made a plan, a secret, surgical, nuclear revenge plan. I started contacting neighbors one by one. The old couple on Maple Street who got fined for their holiday lights, they sold me their 2 voting shares for $400 in a bottle of whiskey. The single mom who got fined for her kids' chalk drawings on the driveway, she handed me her shares for free just to watch Linda burn. I kept a running counter on my phone. 12% ownership, 28%, 47%, 53%, 61%. I now controlled the HOA, and Linda had zero clue because half the neighborhood never showed up to meetings anyway. While I was buying shares, I started sending anonymous letters to the board. I'm showing them on screen right now. You have 30 days to resign or face consequences you cannot imagine. Linda actually read one out loud at a meeting and laughed, called it a prank. She wouldn't be laughing long. The annual meeting was scheduled for October 17th. I spent the night before printing documents, rehearsing what I was going to say, and honestly shaking with adrenaline. I walked in with my lawyer carrying a folder thick enough to knock someone out. Linda was sitting at the head of the table smirking like she owned the world. 47 neighbors packed the room because word had gotten out that something big was happening. What happened in the next 7 minutes has been talked about at every barbecue in this neighborhood ever since. Part 3 is dropping tomorrow night, and it is the most satisfying firing you will ever watch. Hit the like button if you're ready to see Linda's soul leave her body. Turn on the bell because the final part is pure revenge dopamine, and you do not want to miss what happens next. I'll see you tomorrow for the grand finale. This is it, the finale. From $5,800 in grass fines and 9 days from foreclosure to walking into the HOA meeting as the new majority owner. Grab a drink, turn your volume up, because what you're about to hear is the most satisfying 7 minutes in HOA history. October 17th, 7 p.m. The community center is packed, 47 neighbors shoulder to shoulder. Linda is at the head of the table in her signature red blazer, acting like she's the queen. She calls the meeting to order and starts reading the same boring minutes she always does. I stand up, clear my throat, and say, "Actually, before we begin, I have an announcement." I slide the ownership transfer documents across the table, 61% printed in bold at the top. I will never forget her face. The smirk froze, then melted, then turned pure white. I keep talking. Under Section 7.2 of the bylaws, as majority shareholder, I am dissolving the current board effective immediately. You could hear a pin drop. Then I look straight at Linda and say the words I had practiced 100 times in the mirror. Linda, you are fired. Security will escort you out now. 2 neighbors actually started clapping, then 10 more. Then the entire room is on their feet, cheering and whistling, while Linda grabs her purse and practically runs out the door. Day 1 as the new controlling owner, I rewrote every insane rule. Grass height maximum is now 8 inches with one friendly warning first. Lifetime fine cap is $50 no matter what. We now pay for lawn service for every senior and disabled resident. I had every ugly HOA sign in the neighborhood ripped down and replaced with welcome signs. House values have gone up 22% in 2 years because people finally want to live here again. Where is Linda now? She put her house on the market 31 days after the meeting and moved 400 miles away. She can't even show her face at the grocery store without someone whispering. The HOA is healthy, drama-free, and actually helps people instead of terrorizing them. My family still lives in the same house, and sometimes we let the grass grow to 10 inches just because we can. If a completely normal guy like me with no law degree and no rich parents can take down an entire corrupt HOA, imagine what you can do when someone tries to bully you. Drop your craziest HOA or Karen story in the comments right now. The best one gets pinned for a week. Smash subscribe and turn on notifications because next week I'm dropping an even wilder story. HOA banned my disabled son's wheelchair ramp because it looked ugly, so I banned all 2-story houses. It's already recorded and it's nuclear.